Eagles and the McNeese Cowboys. And a very pleasant good afternoon, everybody. I'm Tom Franklin alongside Neil Raphael. And Neil, today's ball game is a contrast in experience. One team has a lot, one team does not. The team with experience is North Carolina Central. They have 9 players who have been here at least 4 years, and they're off to a strong 6-5 start.
Yeah, they have. They have a lot of redshirt seniors, a lot of experience coming into this one. On the other side of the ledger, McNeese State Cowboys with 6 freshmen still trying to come into their own today.
As for today's ball game, point guard play will be the key for both of them. And for the North Carolina Central Eagles, their outstanding point guard is Patrick Cole, who leads the way.
Yeah, Cole at 6'5" out of Newark, New Jersey, averaging 21 points, 7.5 rebounds, and 6 assists. Could really get it done. Tuesday against LSU, 21 points, 10 boards, and 9 assists.
As for the McNeese Cowboys, they rely on the senior leadership of Jemiah Bird.
Jemiah Bird, 12.5 points on the season, 5 assists, and shoots 42% from beyond the arc. He is the glue that sticks this team together.
Will things start to come together for McNeese today? We'll find out. Coming up next, we'll have the starting lineups, the opening tip-off for today's ball game from Burton Coliseum in Lake Charles.
Have you been thinking about diversifying with gold but don't know how? Hi, I'm Mike Fulgens, president of Universal Coin and Bullion. As an award-winning nationwide dealer, we help clients get the answers they need to discover the beauty, security, and strength of gold in their portfolio.
Call us today at 866-UCB-GUIDE to receive our award-winning Gold Guide free. That's 866-822-4843.
Going for the end zone, touchdown!
Epic moments. Championship dreams. Share the experience with your family and friends. The 2017 NCAA Division I Football Championship game.
Tip intercepted!
January 7th at Toyota Stadium in Frisco, Texas. Visit ncaa.com/FCS for tickets today.
The Southland Conference.
4,200 student athletes from across the country
And around the world. Representing 13 member institutions.
from Arkansas, Texas, and Louisiana
Excelling in 17 NCAA Division I sports.
in the classroom and in our communities.
We are Southland Strong.
And we bring it back to Burton Coliseum, Lake Charles, Louisiana. North Carolina Central and McNeese, the order of the afternoon. And the starting lineups about to be introduced to the fans here at Burton Coliseum. First of all, for the visiting North Carolina Central Eagles, you see them, DeJuan Graff, Rashawn Madison, Patrick Cole, the leader of the gang, Delvin Dickerson, and Will Ransom. For McNeese, Jemiah Bird, Jaron Greenwood, Lance Poche, Labarius Hill, and Stephen Okechukwu. Okechukwu back in the starting lineup. Missed 3 ball games. Did play against SMU on Wednesday night for his first action. Almost had a double-double in that ball game. And James Harvey, one of their shooters from the outside who's really been struggling, Neil, starts on the bench today's ball game. I think maybe head coach David Simmons trying to give him a little bit of a breather and take some of the pressure off of him so he can come in and maybe be some instant offense in today's game.
Yeah, I talked to Coach Simmons prior to the game, and he talked about mixing the lineup just a little bit, tweaking it, having some power coming off the bench today. So we'll see. They've struggled out of the gate so far this year, so we'll see. North Carolina is a very, very good team, very physical team, very experienced team, as we talked about in the open. So McNeese is going to need to bring their A game from the very get-go.
You know, to compound the problems that McNeese has had after their 2-6 start with trying to blend in as many new faces as Dave Simmons has had to do with his freshman and junior transfers. 8 of those players of the 11 who are playing are first-year players, but a lot of those guys have also been bothered by nagging injuries, so you don't get the proper practice time and you don't get to establish a rotation in your games. So there have been a lot of strikes working against this McNeese Cowboy team.
No doubt, and they've got conference right upon the horizon here, so trying to build a little confidence, a little continuity, trying to mesh here prior to conference season.
Meanwhile, no such problem for Lavelle Moten, the head coach at North Carolina Central, now in his 8th season. He's got 6 redshirt seniors and 3 redshirt juniors, so these 9 guys have been there at least 4 years. They know what's expected. They've come out with some strong ball games, almost won at Ohio State. They did win at Missouri, and this is the 3rd game of a 3-game road trip. They lost by 3 at Coastal Carolina and by 4 the other night at LSU. They could easily be 2-0 on this trip.
No question. The fact they're playing so well on the road against high-caliber teams says a lot about your ball club.
McNeese will be the home team in the white uniforms that are trimmed in blue and gold. And North Carolina Central, the Eagles, the visiting teams, in the maroon, trimmed in gray and white. Will Ransom, number 42, stepping into the center circle. And he will jump it up for North Carolina Central. And Stephen Okechukwu, junior from Louisville, will be in the circle for McNeese. Referees for today's ball game: Ryan McDaniel, our lead official, will be assisted by Jeffrey Johnson and Lucas Santos. And because Jeffrey's taller, he gets to throw the ball up against these big guys. Ball controlled by McNeese, moving from right to left, and we are underway here in Southland Conference action at Burton Coliseum.
And North Carolina Central will get up and get after you early beyond the arc.
Nice dish by Okechukwu. Burr cans the 3 from the right corner.
We talked about him in the open. He really needs a quick start. Just what the doctor ordered out of the gate for McNeese.
He was a scoring point guard last year when he was made 2nd team All-Southland Conference. Dave Simmons wants him to be a little bit more of a facilitator this year and score when the opportunities are there, and that was one of those opportunities you'd like to see your point guard score. After the dish, find the spot in the corner. But the answer comes from Delvin Dickinson at the top of the circle. So a minute gone by, each team 1 for 1 from the field on a 3-point shot.
Look how far they're guarding. I mean, way high above that 3-point arc. They're in your face. They're going to make you earn it.
He'll try to drive, and the good defense by Dickerson forces a travel turnover, and the ball goes over to North Carolina Central. Dickerson trying to find Graff in the backcourt, and does. DeJuan Graff, one of those 4-year players out of Charlotte, North Carolina. First touch for Cole. To the basket, rolled off the rim, no good. Rebound batted around. Ransom with a putback for 2.
Nice job on the offensive glass by Ransom.
And it's something that McNeese has had a problem with, and here's back-to-back turnovers. Graff leaves for Cole for the Bunny.
Good job with numbers that time by Central.
Offensive rebounds have been a real bugaboo for Dave Simmons and the McNeese Cowboys. They're giving up 21 offensive rebounds per game. Ball poked away there by Rashawn Madison.
A lot of that has to do with the physicality of the game. McNeese is going to need to step it up in that area.
They're hoping that Stephen Okechukwu, one of their bigger players, number 31 down there on the left block, will be able to do that for them. Nice drive up and under for Jarrett Greenwood's first basket of the game. Makes it 7-5. North Carolina Central with the lead.
Job by Greenwood of avoiding the double team and swinging it around on the other side, finishing at the rim.
Graff finds Cole. Cole trying to get loose from the double team, has to swing it outside to Graff, and he'll set with 10 on the clock. Madison fires a 3, a long rebound taken down by Poche. Here's Burr attacking the lane, up and under, and we're tied at 7.
For the 7 points so far, this contest for McNeese by Burr.
And an offensive foul, moving screen on Will Ransom out high. Take a look here again. See him just lean in and pick off the defender, Burr. See across the way, that's Lavelle Moten very dapper today in the dark gray suit and the red tie, holiday spirit. He's got one of the great nicknames of all time. Deep, deep three from way out top. No good by Greenwood, but the long rebound taken by Poche.
Something Coach Simmons talked to me about prior to the game is working their half-court offense, trying to work it inside to the low block and create some offense down there instead of always just settling for that jumper.
Dickerson with a foul on the reach-in. It'll be their second team foul for the Eagles. And a new 30 on the clock for McNeese. Lance Poche, the third all-time leading scorer in NCCU history. And another steal. And Madison on the break can't finish. Rebound comes off and Madison gets it. And again, an offensive rebound. Plagues the Cowboys. Cole got tripped. So he went through the double team. Various Hill guilty of the foul. Let's take a look here.
Nice cross. Got pushed from behind.
Actually, they called it on Hill, but actually the push came from Poche from behind. He's the guy who got it. But it sent Cole to the deck. So the Eagles get a new chance. Here's Cole, guarded by Poche. Poche is the guy who usually draws the toughest opponent on defense. You see him matched up against Cole here early on. Madison will shoot the three from straight out top.
Did a nice job of getting legs under that one. Did Madison knock that one down?
Couple of trays now for the Eagles as part of their 10 points and a 10-7 lead here. Ransom switches off and pressures Burr and kicks the ball out of bounds. That'll bring us to an official's timeout. 15:23 to play here in the opening half of the ball game. Couple of three-pointers for North Carolina Central have staked the Eagles to a 3-point lead over McNeese. (10-7) North Carolina Central over McNeese here. 15:23 left in the opening half at Burton Coliseum in Lafayette. Notice any trends in the early going, Neil?
Well, 3 turnovers early by McNeese. North Carolina Central has turned those into 7 points.
Well, that's a trend. Here's a drive to the basket by Greenwood, high off the glass, and he got fouled on the attack. See the swipe by DeJuan Graff. So it'll be 2 shots coming up for Jaron Greenwood, a 76% free throw shooter on the season. Greenwood, a 6'2 sophomore out of Bel Air High School in Houston. Got to fix the shoes before we can go to the line. Greenwood, third leading scorer coming in at 10.5 per ball game.
North Carolina Central with a storied basketball past. Former player drafted 1957, a little before my time, Tom, Sam Jones, Hall of Fame player for the Boston Celtics.
The Jones boy, out of the Jones boys, Sam and KC played for many, many years. 2 free throws for Greenwood makes it a 1-point game.
Part of that dynasty back in the day. Red Auerbach.
11 championships in 13 years and a backcourt foul. Poche picks up the foul, his first. A little too aggressive in the backcourt. So we'll start all over again, 94 feet away for the Eagles. And again, it's full court pressure. They get it in quickly for Dickerson, and now back into Graff, who will run the show.
McNeese trying to keep Central honest. A little full court pressure.
Never hurts to change the picture.
No.
Cole will attack the basket, lost it on the way up, got it back, but was on the baseline. He's going to attack with the left hand. Ball just flew out of his hand. Watch it here.
Lost it, exactly.
There, the heel. He tried to pick the heel up.
That's right.
Jeffrey Johnson right there on the spot said, no, sir, your heel was on the floor. Couple of substitutions now. Caleb Ledoux, one of the Ledoux twins, freshman, checking in along with James Harvey. Gunner from the outside who had been a starter. See if he can provide some zip off the bench for Dave Simmons and the Cowboys. And we get a foul out high, and this is Pablo Rivas, who just checked in for the Eagles. Neil, you talked about just how far away they're pressuring the basketball. We just saw right there a little too tough. Bad inbounds pass and the easy layup by Rashawn Madison, who's got 5.
Another transition basket for North Carolina Central.
Another one off a turnover. Oh, and we threw the ball away. Ledoux. Ball will just go out of bounds right in front of us. And Rashawn Madison will just let it go. And Dave Simmons says, guys, what happened in that timeout? This is not the team that played the first 4.5 minutes.
I like what McNeese is doing so far, trying to mix things up.
Watch the inbounds pass, just racing up to take it away. It was Madison.
Yeah, great anticipation. You do a nice job of stepping out in the passing lanes. And so far, it's providing rewards for them.
Central is a very balanced team. You've got the 20.8 points per game from Cole and 12.6 from Graff. But you got 2 guys knocking on the door at 10 points. Madison at 9.6, and Rivas off the bench is at 9.4. So you've got nearly 4 guys averaging in double figures. Makes you hard to defend when you can share the wealth. Look there at Lavelle Moten. We talked about him in the dark suit and the red tie, and when he racked up that 1,714 points in his years as a player here at NCCU, his nickname, Poetry in Moten. Gotta love it. Rebound by Lavarius Hill and a foul in the backcourt on Patrick Cole. Suddenly the fouls starting to stack up here on the Eagles.
Yeah, that's a risk they really didn't need to take in the backcourt there.
Oh man, looked like Ledoux almost carried that ball. Here's Harvey, he'll fire from the left corner, in and out, no good. Ogochukwu tried to put it back and got fouled. Might be Cole again, let's see. It is. Patrick Cole picks up his second foul, 16 foul against NCCU.
See the anticipation there. Did a nice job of grabbing that rebound without body contact.
First free throw spins around and goes in for Ogochukwu. With just 2 of 6 from the line against SMU on Wednesday night. And Eddie met a little bit better from the free throw line. Would have had a double-double as he wound up with 9 points and 10 rebounds coming off the bench in 25 minutes.
More full court pressure.
But no problem. Graff goes to the basket, avoids the contact, and lays it in off the glass. DeJuan Graff with his first basket of the ball game. Back to a 3-point lead for the Eagles. Burr being hounded by Madison. Shot clock down to 10. Burr tried to split a double team, picks up the ball, tried to pass underneath. Hill couldn't get it to go on the rebound, taken off by Rivas. Graff again through the paint, comes back outside. Ron traps his 33. He's in the ball game now for Cole. And this time Graff finds a path to the basket with a left hand.
Just so smooth with that basketball.
5-point lead for NCCU. Ogochukwu had it roll off the rim, no good. Poked out of bounds by the Eagles. It'll stay on this end. Jaron Greenwood will come back in. Jeremiah Burr will get his first breather. 12:49 left. McNeese gets a new 30. Ogochukwu takes Ransom to the basket, got him off his feet, but traveled. You saw the little hop.
Unfortunately, because that was a great hit ball fake to get the defender off his feet.
See a little bunny hop right there?
Yeah.
You can see the motion in the shoulders where he just got off his balance a little bit.
Unfortunately, he had Ransom up in the air.
Here's Graff. Corner 3, partially deflected by Harvey. Good defense there on the 3 from Madison. He got a piece of it on the way up. Ogochukwu attacks and finishes.
Saw the lane there and attacked and threw that one down. Got the fans fired up here at the Burton Coliseum.
So this bus is nonstop.
What a big shot in the arm, getting him back healthy, Tom.
It's meant a lot to them when he missed those 3 ball games. Took them out of their rotational rhythms. Traps 3 is short. Rebound. Harvey had it poked out of his hands. Madison's got it. Throws it back out to Graff, and he'll set it back up again for the Eagles. Rivas driving to the basket. It won't go, but he got fouled on the way up. Foul's going to be on Ogochukwu, his first. Brings us to an official's timeout. 11:39 to go here in the first half at Burton Coliseum in Lake Charles. Pretty good matchup between North Carolina Central and McNeese.
Mighty oak trees grow strong in contrary winds. McNeese State University continues to thrive despite the current economic climate. For 5 consecutive years, McNeese has been named one of the best regional universities in the South by U.S. News and World Report. Best Value Schools also ranked McNeese one of the best schools in the state for affordability and return on investment for its graduates. See for yourself why a degree from McNeese just makes sense. Call or visit us online to schedule a campus tour.
Great hunt today, Dad.
Thanks, son. For more than 15 years, I've helped clients nationwide make solid decisions about investing in gold so they can enjoy what's most important.
Discover the best options for you and your family by calling 866-UCB-GUIDE to receive our award-winning Gold Guide free. 866-UCB-GUIDE, 866-822-4843.
Now is the time to learn about gold, so you have time to enjoy what's most important.
Going for the end zone, touchdown!
Epic moments. Championship dreams. Share the experience with your family and friends. The 2017 NCAA Division I Football Championship game.
Tip intercepted!
January 7th at Toyota Stadium in Frisco, Texas. Visit ncaa.com/FCS for tickets today.
.11:39 to play here at Burton Coliseum in Lake Charles. And North Carolina Central owns the 3-point lead. Both teams shooting it at 50%, Neil, but Central has put up 6 more shots. There's 6 more shots than the McNeese Cowboys have.
Yeah, 14-8. And one thing that's keeping McNeese in right now is the rebounding. We talked about that. They've really struggled, but so far today they've stepped up and done a nice job.
But the turnovers have gotten them in problems. They've turned it over 6 times to just 1 for the Eagles.
Correct.
Pablo Rivas knocks home a couple of free throws, ups the lead to 5 at 18-13. And they're going to trap half court. Ledoux from the right wing is good for 2. Caleb Ledoux with his first basket of the ball game, had 16 in the ball game against SMU on Wednesday night. Caleb averaging 11 points on the season.
Nice addition, a freshman coming off the bench.
Madison looks for Graff, and with 10 to play, he'll have to put the offense in motion. Here's Traps in the lane. The floater from 10 is good. Tough shot by Ron Traps. Nice lead pass and finish. Lavarius Hill with his first basket. But eyes up the floor and a great assist.
Great job.
Madison comes up short from the left wing. Rebound tipped out, chased down by Hill, and he got tripped up. And that should be free throws.
It is, 17 foul.
Charge to the Eagles,
Pablo Rivas will pick up his second.
And look at the hustle.
You'll see right there as he just ran over him. Stepped on his heels, sent him to the deck. And so Lavarius Hill, 53% free throw shooter with a basket just a moment ago on that slam. Checking to make sure you didn't get any floor burns and any blood. Ryan McDaniel, our lead official.
I can just see a spring in the step of McNeese right now. They really had a tough time the other night against SMU, and they've come out today and really are getting after it on both ends of the floor.
Being back at home has to help as well.
Sure.
Free throw is no good by Hill. So we stay at 20-17. And Rivas sits down with his 2 fouls, and coming in off the bench, number 1, C.J. Wiggins. Wiggins, sophomore, 5'11" from Richmond, Virginia. High off the glass is Graff for 2. You're all right, Neil. He is a very smooth ball player and can do whatever he wants, it seems, with the ball in his hands.
Smooth operator. Backdoor
pass, too strong for Hill. Greenwood off target with that pass. A.J. Brown, number 30, will check in. Jeremiah Burr comes back in as well for McNeese. And Greenwood and Hill will have a seat. Ugochukwu also come back in for the Cowboys. 9:45 left here in the opening half. 5-point lead for the Eagles from North Carolina Central. 3 from the outside is off the mark, no good by Dickerson, but we get a rebounding foul underneath. Ugochukwu may just picked up his second. And he does. Let's watch it here in the left corner of your picture. Now, you couldn't see it here as we were following the track of the ball. It was down low, but Ugochukwu with a forearm in the back. It's only 4 team fouls against McNeese. Here's Wiggins, pulls up from 12 in the lane. It rolls off, no good. Ransom couldn't get the rebound, and it comes down to Burr, 3-on-3. Burr will go length of the floor, won't get it to go. Rebound tipped around. Dickerson had it for a moment, now finally covers it up at the free throw line.
A good effort by Dickerson, very active on the offensive glass.
Here goes Graff again, blocked by Ugochukwu. Now they got 3-on-2. Ahead for Ledoux with the left hand, 2-1. Caleb Ledoux with his second basket.
Great spacing for McNeese in transition. They had the numbers.
That was coming the Eagles, C.J. Wiggins. That's his first personal
Wiggins
foul.
leaning in, was not firmly planted.
You'll get one.
Good call by the officials there. Now Howard Thomas, number 14, a 6'7" junior out of Brandon, Mississippi, checks in. Trying to lend some bulk there underneath as Hugo Chukwu will sit down. You can tell he's a little gassed, Neil, having missed those 3 games with a groin problem, so he really couldn't run a whole lot, so you lose your conditioning a little bit. So now trying to lend some beef out there is Howard Thomas. As Caleb Ledoux completes a 3-point play, he's got 5 points, and we got a 2-point game as we're under 9 to go here in the first half at Burton Coliseum.
Well, that game conditioning is a little bit different from that practice conditioning.
Wiggins to the basket with a spinner off the glass. These guards from Central find their way into the paint, don't they, Neil?
Boy, they are sly as a fox.
Nice move by Burr, draws contact from Dickerson, and it goes.
What hang time by Jemiah Burr. Able to get in the air, establish a little offensive contact, kiss it off the glass with the offside hand.
And a reach in there by James Harvey.
15
foul against McNeese. But the other play on the other end with Burr going to the basket, and he and Dickerson arrived at the same place at the same time in the air. The officials let the play go, and I think it was a great decision by the crew because neither guy was guilty of anything wrong. They just arrived at the same place at the same time.
So Wash.
Here's Graff with the floater off the mark, no good. Ransom got too deep, and the rebound came down to Thomas. And here comes McNeese with a chance to tie or go in front. Burr will be hounded out high by Trapp. Harvey against Dickerson, who got too aggressive on the wing. And James Harvey is going to get a chance to shoot 1-1 when play resumes. So North Carolina Central has led for most of this first half, but McNeese not letting him get away like they have so many opponents in the past. It's a 2-point game with 7:40 left here in the first half in Lake Charles. The McNeese Cowboys have made a habit of digging themselves early first half holes, but not so today. Hanging tough with the band of Eagles from North Carolina Central, 24-22. James Harvey will be at the line to shoot 1-1 for the Cowboys with a chance to tie this up. Harvey on the season, 67% from the stripe. Back iron on the first one. The rebound comes down to Marius McAllister, who just checked in at the timeout. So North Carolina Central maintains their 2-point lead. McNeese got the first basket of the ball game to go up 3-0, but haven't been in front since. Step back by Graff. Oh, tough shot. Now does the basket count? Is the foul underneath against Central? Ryan McDaniel going to go to the bench. Yeah, we're going to count the basket.
Yeah, I think it was before the foul.
And we're going to get a foul on the other end. Free throws coming up for A.J. Brown.
Wow, falling back. Great rotation.
Graff with a step back.
Man, that's a tough
McAllister
shot.
guilty of the foul.
2 shots for A.J. Brown.
So Adrian prefers to be called AJ at the free throw line to shoot 2, as that was the 10th team foul. Misses the first. Free throws, a bit of a problem at 64.5% for McNeese. You'd like to see that percentage over 70. Brown.
Especially with conference play right around the corner.
Brown splits his 2. He will check out. Ugochukwu will come back in. 3-point lead for North Carolina Central here with 7:13 to play first half. As we mentioned, they've led just about the whole way. After surrendering the first basket, that was it. Graff underneath for Ransom for the finish.
You've got to put a body on Ransom. Just too easy. The high-low action that time by North Carolina Central.
Ransom with his second bucket of the ball game extends the lead back out to 5. Five has been as big as the lead has been for Central. They've been here a few times. Going to get a travel on the spin move underneath on Howard Thomas. Another turnover for McNeese is their 8th of the first half.
A nice low post, but
yep.
Shuffled.
Saw him pick up the pivot foot when he made that spin back to the baseline.
Sometimes they try to do too much.
Ransom out high, leaves for Graff.
They tried to work him in to the middle of the paint, then take him baseline.
Yeah, going to be an offensive foul on Ransom. Moving screen once again, that's his second. Lamarius Hill, number 15, will check back in as Howard Thomas will sit down. And now Michael Wolf will come in as Ransom picks up his second foul. Lavelle Moten protecting that starter with 2 fouls, much like he has Patrick Cole for much of this first half. Wolf is a 6'9" junior out of Germantown, Maryland. Six minutes left here in the first half, and we're getting an offensive foul. Is it Ugochukwu on the moving screen? It is, and that's his 3rd.
That's big, Tom.
That's very big.
He's been a presence here in the middle for McNeese here in the first half, and
Lance Poche is going to check back in. Poche, as we mentioned, usually draws the toughest defensive assignment. 6'6", 200 pounds out of St. Martinsville, Louisiana. 3 from the wing by Madison on the stop and pop, no good. Traps had his hands on the rebound. They say knocked out of his hands, however, by Caleb Ledoux. It'll stay with the Eagles, and they'll have a new 30 to shoot. Madison will hold it and give it to Graff. Graff, the floor general. Traps will pull up from 12. In and out, no good. Rebound fought for underneath. Ledoux had it ripped out of his hands by McAllister. And they'll call it dual possession. It'll stay with the Eagles here on the alternating possession. Here comes the other Ledoux. Ledoux for Ledoux. Jacob Ledoux comes in for Caleb. Identical hairstyles. And another moving screen here on North Carolina Central. And I think that's on Michael Wolf.
It is.
Nope, they said 33,
nope.
not 34. Ron Traps.
See that.
So with under 5.5 to play, once again, McNeese trying to chop this 5-point lead down. Nice move out top by Burr, but he lost control of the ball. Graff has got it in traffic. Now attacks. And there's a push-off with the offhand. Everybody in the entire arena saw that one. And Graff picks up his second foul. So the foul's building up here on the Eagles here in the first half.
Yeah, we see the right arm extended.
They have 5 players with 2 fouls and 12 total fouls in the half against the Eagles.
Including their main cog, Patrick Cole.
4 of their 5 starters have 2 fouls.
Correct.
Here's Burr, nice 15-footer for the right side. And Jemiah Burr has 9 points, holding the Cowboys strong. Down 3 here. Wiggins finds Madison. And a steal. Couldn't keep it inbounds. Right in front of us, Jaron Greenwood with a foot on the sideline.
Great hustle by Greenwood.
I didn't see your hand go out in front of me, Neil. You know, part of the job of the color commentator is protect the play-by-play guy. You know that's in the contract, don't you?
Should have done it. I had my eye on the ball, watching the action.
Yeah,
didn't want to be
daydreaming
part of
as
the
always.
action.
Daydreaming as always.
I don't move as quick as I used to, Tom.
Traps from the right side for 3. Ron Traps with his first 3 ball.
What a great name for a player, especially a solid defensive player. Traps.
Biggest lead of the afternoon so far for North Carolina Central is at 6. Nice dish underneath, having trouble controlling it, but somehow getting it up was Labarius Hill.
Wow, Hill was able to gather that and put that in. That was amazing.
Keep his composure, use the left hand in the glass. Wow, that was quite the shot. 4 minutes to play here in the first half. 4-point lead for the Eagles with the ball. Traps with a turnaround. Won't go this time. Tough rebound by McAllister. Lost it out of bounds. It'll belong to McNeese. One play continues. Very, very entertaining and competitive first half here at Burton Coliseum in Lake Charles, Louisiana. North Carolina Central 6-5 on the year, looking for win number 7. They own the 4-point lead as we go to a timeout. Want to send his helpers on duty here at Burton Coliseum. Just 8 days away from the main events, Christmas 2016. And the McNeese Cowboys trying to give their fans an early Christmas present here with a win over a very solid North Carolina Central team. 4-point lead for the Eagles. 3:40 to play here in the first half. And McNeese trying to work into this deficit. Nice shot from the left side by Jared Greenwood, who's got 6. And we've got a 2-point game now. Well, McNeese has shot the ball well. The drive to the basket by Wiggins. We're getting a foul. Is it Burr? It will be on Burr, picking up his first. But some of the bugaboo areas,
yeah, he was a little late,
for head coach Dave Simmons have been straightened out. Shooting, they're 11 of 16 now here in the first half. They're even in rebounds at 11 apiece, but 10 turnovers. The one thing that continues to plague the Cowboys here in the early going. Wiggins' free throw is off the mark. 75% free throw shooter on the season. Did not see action against LSU on Tuesday night. A tough 4-point loss. Missed them both. Swiping the rebound is Poche. And ball knocked out of bounds here on the sideline. Trapp's trying to get in the way. See Ron Trapp's there, 6'4" senior out of Lancaster, South Carolina. So here again is McNeese, a chance to tie or go in front. Approaching 3 minutes left here in the first half. And it's Greenwood underneath for Hill. Reverse layup, will stay in the hoop.
Nice wraparound on the other side.
Thought about coming out, but stayed back in the cylinder. And we're tied at 31 with 2:50 to play here, first half. Wiggins around a screen, trying to shed a defender. Got it back outside. The 3 out top is no good by Wolf. It's not what you want a 6'9" guy doing. Shooting from out top, 3-point range. 2.5 to go, and McNeese can take their first lead since the opening basket. If Greenwood can convert, he can convert, but Wiggins is going to get the foul, and that's the 6th North Carolina Central player with 2 fouls here in the first half. That'll be something to watch in the second half.
It will.
He just got in there late. All he had to do is just go straight up, and instead he extended that forearm, got him on the elbow.
Sometimes you can be overly aggressive, Tom.
Greenwood made his first 2 from the line earlier in the first half. And makes it a 1-point game with that one. He now has 7, trailing only Burr for the Cowboys in the scoring column, who has 9. And now Greenwood could tie it up with 2:24 left. High arching shot is good. Back to square one. And matter of fact, Cowboys taking the lead with those 2 free throws. My mistake. First lead since the opening basket. 20 seconds deep. 33-31. Step back jumper is way off the mark by McAllister. Traps' putback is no good. And we get a reach-in foul here on McNeese.
The foul has come to the Cowboys. Lavarius Hill, that's his second personal foul.
Lavarius Hill guilty on the rebound. Saw him underneath. Poche was there for the clean swipe of the ball. But it was Hill who kind of negated the presence of Michael Wolf underneath that allowed Poche to get the rebound. So Hill will sit down. He's got 2 fouls. Ugochukwu has 3. They're the only 2 guys in foul trouble for McNeese. Wolf makes the first of 1-1, as that was only the 8th team foul. Michael Wolf 50% from the free throw line. Had 1 rebound in 6 minutes against LSU on Tuesday night. Goes 2 for 2 from the stripe. Ties us back up at 33. Burr out top. They feed inside for Poche. Knocked out of his hands by Wolf, and Wolf gets the carom off the glass. Wiggins will attack. Dumps it on the wing to Madison. Now Wiggins again. Cannot shake Burr. Nice move by Madison. Missed it, but the follow by McAllister is good.
Great anticipation. Great job on the offensive glass.
2-point lead again for the Eagles. Turnaround at the free throw line by Poche is no good. Traps clears the rebound quickly for Madison. Under a minute to go here in the first half. And we're going to get a 30-second timeout called here by Lavelle Moten. Try and set things up. Again, each team needs to use one timeout in the first half in college basketball, or else it does not carry over to the second half. So Lavelle Moten says this might be my last possession, so I'll take it here. But fouls, the big problem for North Carolina Central. Delvin Dickerson, DeJuan Graff, Patrick Cole, Will Ransom, 4 of their 5 starters, along with bench players Pablo Ribas and C.J. Wiggins, all with 2 fouls here in the first half, as North Carolina Central has committed 14 team fouls in the first half to just 8 for McNeese. McNeese with 2 players in trouble, Stephen Ugochukwu with 3 fouls, and Labarius Hill with 2. So they'll inbound in the backcourt to Wiggins, and they'll have 15 to shoot here. Wiggins running the point for DeJuan Graff, who's on the bench with 2 fouls. Wiggins had his shot blocked by Brown. Ahead it goes for Ledoux, and Jacob Ledoux says, "How do you do?" to the hoop. We're tied at 35, 25 seconds to go here in the first half. Last shot opportunity here for North Carolina Central to take a lead into the locker room. They've led almost the entire first half. They right now find themselves tied. Shot clock down to 6. Wiggins around a double screen. From the right elbow, no good. Getting a foul underneath, and it's on North Carolina Central. McAllister, I believe, is the guilty party. And now make that 7 players with 2 fouls. Unbelievable. And now Jacob Ledoux, who just had the slam in transition a moment ago, with 1.3 seconds to play in the half, can put the Cowboys in front going to the locker room, but misses the first. He's 65% from the line, averaging 5 points off the bench. Freshman from Port Laberre, Louisiana. Goes 1 out of 2. Long heave by Wiggins will come up short. And a strong finish to the first half for the McNeese Cowboys, and head coach Dave Simmons looking for only their 3rd win of the season. And the head coach is standing by with Neil Raphael.
Coach Simmons, a couple things we talked about prior to the game that you were able to do in the first half: rebounding and a presence in the middle.
You're right. I mean, that helps when we got Stephen Ugochukwu back, who got in foul trouble, but he was rebounding and playing well. I think our energy is good. We're playing hard. We're playing a very good basketball team. But I'm glad to see where we're up by 1, but we got to do our work the second half.
Okay, Coach, second half adjustment.
Well, right now I like what we're doing defensively. We just gave up a couple offensive rebounds where our guards in box out, but we need to get a better offensive team. They're good on the defensive end. They're pressurers. We can't enter the ball like we want to, so we got to make some adjustments of getting the ball in before we can get in our offense a little easier.
Coach, good luck in the second half. Thank you. Tom, back to you.
All right, Neil, thanks very much. Entertaining first half here at Burton Coliseum in Lake Charles, Louisiana, as the McNeese Cowboys will take a 1-point lead into the locker room at halftime. And we'll come back with entertaining halftime activities right after this timeout.
You know, diversification is important and means more than owning different stocks. Hi, I'm Mike Fulgens, president of Universal Coin and Bullion. I've been helping clients nationwide for 15 years diversify with gold. And I want to send you a free copy of our award-winning gold guide to help you choose the best gold options for you.
Get the answers you need about gold. Call us today at 866-UCB-GUIDE. That's 866-822-4843.
The Southland Conference.
4,200 student athletes from across the country
and around the world, representing 13 member institutions
from Arkansas, Texas, and Louisiana.
Excelling in 17 NCAA Division I sports.
In the classroom and in our communities.
We are Southland Strong.
Just as mighty oak trees grow strong in contrary winds, McNeese State University continues to thrive despite the current economic climate. For 5 consecutive years, McNeese has been named one of the best regional universities in the South by U.S. News and World Report. Best Value Schools also ranked McNeese one of the best schools in the state for affordability and return on investment for its graduates. See for yourself why a degree from McNeese just makes sense. Call or visit us online to schedule a campus tour.
It's halftime here at Burton Coliseum in Lake Charles, Louisiana, where the McNeese Cowboys had a 1-point lead over North Carolina Central. Tom Franklin back here courtside, pleased to be joined by our game sponsor, Mike Fulgens from Universal Coin and Bullion. We come here to Lake Charles. We look forward to seeing you, my friend. Glad to have you back and glad you're helping us out today.
Wanted to have you down here. Did you get some jambalaya while you were here?
Yes, I did. I wouldn't miss it.
There you go.
So tell people about Universal Coin and Bullion, what it is if they've not heard of you before.
Well, we're one of the leaders in the country in selling coins and precious metals. My book this year was voted the book of the year in the industry, and I got back from consulting in Washington, D.C. for the U.S. Mint. So we're a leader in collectible coins and investment gold and bullion.
Tell people why they want to consider that sort of option for part of their overall portfolio.
Well, the World Gold Council says a portfolio balanced out with 5 to 15% of precious metals, like gold, performs better in all environments. So it's part of a diversification strategy. Not that someone should have all gold or half gold, but maybe 5 to 15% of what they have.
Now, we just had a presidential election here in the United States. We'll have a change in leadership. Do things like that affect how people approach your market?
Yes, it does. And we've seen a lot of extra spending now that Trump has won the presidency. And I'll be going to the inauguration in January. Looking forward to it.
Well, that's pretty interesting. For people who don't know much about investing in precious metals and gold, what can you tell them about them and how can they find out more?
Well, first of all, you got to know your dealer before you buy coins. I'm working with the Attorney General of Texas on a report for consumer protection. You got to make sure the dealer is reputable, a member of leading organizations like the Professional Numismatist Guild, and check out their Better Business Bureau rating.
And then when you want to start getting into this kind of thing, where do you start?
Well, you start with maybe a trial order. Make sure the dealer delivers on time, gives you good materials. Our materials have been voted the best in the industry 7 of the last 10 years. So get information, do a trial order, see if you like the dealer before you invest a lot of money with them.
Now, you mentioned your book. People can read that. Tell them about it and where they can find it.
Well, it's on Double Eagles. It's on my website at universalcoin.com. And it's for sale there, and it was voted by our Numismatic Clear Guild the best in the industry. It's a good place to start.
Big supporter of collegiate athletics here in the southwestern Louisiana area here in Lake Charles. It's Mike Fulgens, the head of Universal Coin and Bullion, joining us here at halftime. Mike, thanks a lot.
Thank you so much.
More halftime activities from Burton Coliseum will follow this timeout. 1 point lead for McNeese here at halftime at Burton Coliseum in Lake Charles, Louisiana. Tom Franklin, Neil Raphael courtside for you this afternoon. McNeese has led the game for less than a minute here in the first half, but they have the 1 point advantage going in the locker room, Neil.
They have. One thing they do need to do here in the second half is take care of the basketball, Tom Franklin.
Let's take a look at some of the first half highlights here in the first half and see how things went. First basket of the ball game belonged right here to McNeese as Jemiah Bird hits a three from the wing, but the answer from Delvin Dickinson tied it up. And then North Carolina Central had their way a little bit. Ransom underneath with a putback. Transition basket here. The layoff to Patrick Cole. Back the other way for a nice reverse layup there by Jaron Greenwood. Bird through traffic in transition for a tough basket. Part of his 9 points in the first half. Madison pops a three from out top. Then makes a steal on defense and the finish. 5 quick points for Madison. Here's Graff. Great body control and awareness in the lane. There's one drive. Going with the left hand this time for another. And the follow by Ugochukwu. And we finish off the first half with Caleb Ledoux on the wing. And then the finger roll as well for a three-point play opportunity. Burr one more time with a pull-up, and it's a 1 point lead for McNeese at 36-35. We'll come back and take a look at our first half statistics in this ball game and get you set for the second half from Burton Coliseum in Lake Charles right after this timeout.
Education is important and means more than owning different stocks. Hi, I'm Mike Fulgens, president of Universal Coin and Bullion. I've been helping clients nationwide for 15 years diversify with gold. And I want to send you a free copy of our award-winning gold guide to help you choose the best gold options for you.
Get the answers you need about gold. Call us today at 866-UCB-GUIDE. That's 866-822-4843.
The Southland Conference.
4,200 student athletes from across the country
and around the world, representing 13 member institutions
from Arkansas, Texas, and Louisiana.
Excelling in 17 NCAA Division I sports.
In the classroom and in our communities.
We are Southland Strong.
Just as mighty oak trees grow strong in contrary winds, McNeese State University continues to thrive despite the current economic climate. For 5 consecutive years, McNeese has been named one of the best regional universities in the South by U.S. News and World Report. Best Value Schools also ranked McNeese one of the best schools in the state for affordability and return on investment for its graduates. See for yourself why a degree from McNeese just makes sense. Call or visit us online to schedule a campus tour.
(36-35), McNeese on top of North Carolina Central. And the Cowboys have done it with hot shooting from the floor. 13 of 19 for 68% in the first half. And 9 of 13 for the free throw line. So the shooting game has been on in tonight's ball game. And they've also out-rebounded Central by a pair at 16-2 as you take a look here. Fouls, the big thing. 15 team fouls against North Carolina Central, just 8 for McNeese, and that's going to be something to look at here in the second half. The turnovers, however, McNeese will have to cut them down. Those 12 turnovers were turned into 13 points by North Carolina Central. So, Neil, when you come back and you take a look, you talked a little bit to Dave Simmons going off the floor. What do you want to see McNeese do more of or better in the second half?
Take care of the basketball, number one, first and foremost. And as you say, it's transferred into 13 points for North Carolina Central. The presence in the middle was very good for McNeese. They're going to have to keep people out of foul trouble, no question.
Now, if you're Lavelle Moten for North Carolina Central, what do you tell your Eagle team in the second half other than quit fouling because we got too many guys in foul trouble?
Yeah, you've got to make them earn it. Yeah, you've extended your defense out, but you've got to make them earn everything they get. They've done a nice job of taking care, stealing the ball, causing the turnovers, finishing on the other end, but just play smart. Play heads-up basketball.
All right, second half action from Burton Coliseum and Lake Charles, Louisiana coming your way after this timeout as McNeese will take a 1-point lead into the second half. Today's Southland Conference men's basketball game is being brought to you by Mike Fulgen's Universal Coin and Bullion. Check him out at universalcoin.com. Mike, gracious enough to join us here at halftime. Always one of the nice things about coming over here to Lake Charles is seeing Mike Fulgen's great supporter of collegiate athletics. So here we go. McNeese with a 1-point lead. We'll start with the ball at midcourt to get underway. Lance Poche puts it in the hands of Jemiah Burr. Both teams return their starting fives on the floor. Let's see how long the starting five can stay out there for North Carolina Central, as all but Rashawn Madison, number 3, has 2 fouls here as we start play.
Yeah, Cole with only 2 points in the first half due to his foul situation.
Burr shoots, misses, rebound tipped by Hill, but controlled by the Eagles. Here's Patrick Cole. Floater off the glass, too strong. Rebound taken down by Labarius Hill.
You notice he's a little hesitant to take that one in, Tom.
Doesn't want to get that third foul.
Exactly.
Hugo Chukwu from way out top just inside the arc is no good, and Dickerson takes the rebound down. Graff, a little too strong. Hugo Chukwu the rebound, and here comes McNeese. So somebody put a lid on the basket at halftime for both of these teams. Loose ball, Madison popped it loose, and he'll recover for the Eagles. 3-on-3. Cole to the basket, left it short. Rebound, Poche. Ahead now for Greenwood. Lost it, picked it back up again. Hill with the shot. He'll make it from 10 feet off the left of the paint. Labarius Hill has 8. And it's a 3-point lead for the Cowboys. Deflected out of bounds by Poche.
And I like the energy so far of McNeese coming out of the half.
See, he lost the ball going up. It ran off of Ransom, so that allowed him to pick it back up without being guilty of a traveling violation. DeJuan Graff out top from Madison. Cole in the first half just had 2 points and 2 fouls. There's his second basket of the ball game. 19 points, 10 rebounds against LSU. Almost had a quadruple double. had 9 assists. He did have 10 turnovers. You don't like to see that as the fourth part of the quad double.
Exactly.
Here's Hugo Chukwu on the drive with the right hand. Nice move by Steven Hugo Chukwu.
He's really coming into his own.
He makes a big difference on the floor for them.
Exactly. He's got those 3 first-half fouls. Has to play smart.
Patrick Cole in the corner, guarded by Poche. He'll step back for 3. It's short. Rebound, poked away, controlled by Hill. Finally, Burrow will get his way through traffic. Head and shoulders fake to the basket, knocked away by Madison from behind. Madison comes ahead for Graff. Graff got around Hugo Chukwu for the lay-in. You can see a guy who's in top-flight basketball shape to Hugo Chukwu, who's still trying to find it after missing those 3 games.
Well, and you also have a guard on a post player.
Well, that too. That too, but you can see, even though he's had halftime, he's not as strong as he was at the start of the game. Wild shot there taken off by Ransom. Here's Graff. They'll exchange out high and set the offense in motion with 20 to shoot. Graff from 17, left it short. Hugo Chukwu with another rebound. Oh, he gave it right to Ransom. Oh my goodness. Here's Graff. Cole on the wing for 3, it's short. Rebound Ransom on the backside, knocked out of his hands. And the foul's on Ransom, going for the loose ball, and Will Ransom just got his 3rd. You see the bad pass there by Hugo Chukwu.
Yeah, he had the ball in one hand, just kind of let it go, and the defender stepped out and took it. So be careful.
So Ron Traps will come in. Ransom will stay on the floor.
We'll see what Simmons does here with Hugo Chukwu here in the second half. See if he'll play him 3-4 minutes, give him a breather, put him back in.
You know, try and watch the clock, know when your timeouts are coming, and get him out and give him a little extra time.
When you get tired, you get lazy, and sometimes you foul.
And he's got 3, so he's got to be protective. Greenwood through the lane with the right hand. What a move by Greenwood. Through traffic, he's in double figures with 10. And back the other way, Ransom for the finish. Almost took out our cameraman.
Nice answer.
Poche in the lane, left it short. Rebounded Dickerson. Dickerson on the wing for Madison's 3. No good. Put back, however, is good by Ron Traps.
Traps has really been a surprise today.
Averages 5 points. We're going to get a timeout. Dave Simmons and the McNeese Cowboys. It comes with 15:31 to play here in the second half. McNeese had a 1-point lead at the break, but the Eagles have come back to take a 1-point lead.
Diversifying with gold but don't know how? Hi, I'm Mike Fulgens, president of Universal Coin and Bullion. As an award-winning nationwide dealer, we help clients get the answers they need to discover the beauty, security, and strength of gold in their portfolio.
Call us today at 866-UCB-GUIDE to receive our award-winning Gold Guide free. That's 866-822-4843.
Going for the end zone, touchdown!
Epic moments. Championship dreams. Share the experience with your family and friends. The 2017 NCAA Division I Football Championship game.
Tip intercepted!
January 7th at Toyota Stadium in Frisco, Texas. Visit ncaa.com/FCS for tickets today.
The Southland Conference.
4,200 student athletes from across the country
And around the world, representing 13 member institutions.
from Arkansas, Texas, and Louisiana.
Excelling in 17 NCAA Division I sports.
In the classroom and in our communities.
We are Southland Strong.
.31 to play in the ball game here at Burton Coliseum in Lake Charles, Louisiana. Back and forth here to start the second half. McNeese trailing by 1 after leading by 1 at the intermission. Shooting has been off for both teams here in the second half. 4 of 11 for North Carolina Central and 3 of 7 for McNeese. Caleb Ledoux with the ball has come in at the timeout. Ugochukwu in the lane. High off the glass by Brown is no good. Back the other way come the Eagles. Dickerson leaves for Graff, who attacks. And offensive foul. DeJuan Graff just picked up his 3rd foul.
That was a good call. A.J. Brown stood in there and took the brunt of that.
Tried to split a double team and couldn't do it. That's an official's timeout. 15-11 to play now. We're still at a 43-42 ball game. North Carolina Central on top by 1. Who are those guys and how'd they get in the arena? That's what I want to know. Check those press credentials out. Tom Franklin and Nia Raphael courtside here at Burton Coliseum in Lake Charles. We got a good one working here between North Carolina Central and McNeese. The Eagles of North Carolina Central with a 1-point lead, but McNeese has got the ball in the hands of Jemiah Burr. Now to Caleb Ledoux. But again, Central not backing off that defensive pressure, Neil, even though they've got all these fouls to work with.
No, they haven't at all.
Feed on the sideline, lucky to be brought in by Greenwood. He'll go back door, lay it up, left it short. Ransom with the rebound for the Eagles, taken by Ugochukwu. Left hand, couldn't get it to go. This is Brown, and he got the finish.
Nice left-handed finish by Brown. No, when it's in your DNA, you continue to do it. Talking about the hard pressure defense by North Carolina Central.
Madison for Dickerson in the lane. Couldn't get it to go, but a foul, and if it's Ugochukwu, it's his 4th. Nope. It's on Caleb Ledoux. They were both there.
His first personal foul, first team foul, 2 shots for Delvin Dickerson.
Delvin Dickerson will go to the line. Watch the dish off here.
Nice job.
Pressured, the foul came from behind.
Nice job of sharing the ball that time by North Carolina Central.
Dickerson makes the first of 2 free throws, a 50% free throw shooter around the season, and got a shooter's roll on the second. It's coming off a 9-point performance against LSU on Tuesday. 14-10 to go. 1-point lead for North Carolina Central. Caleb Ledoux fires, couldn't get it to go. Ugochukwu with a rebound, stripped by Delvin Dickerson. Ahead quickly to Madison. Bounce pass on the wing for Trapp, left it short. Dickerson tried the one-hand jam, couldn't get it to go. 3-on-1 the other way. Burr missed it, but a foul. And it's going to be on Will Ransom, and that'll be his 4th personal foul. And 2 substitutions going to come in here for North Carolina Central.
3-on-1 break.
You saw the body foul by Ransom, trying to block the shot by Burr. Burr will make his first trip to the free throw line, 68% on the season. First one on the way and good, puts him in double figures at 10, ties him with his teammate Jaron Greenwood for team honors. So Traps and Ransom will check out. And Rivas has come in. No good on the second by Burr. So it stays tied at 45. North Carolina Central a little smaller on the floor right now. Here's Patrick Cole from Madison. Back to Dickerson, pump fake on the three, will attack, right hand, left it short. Rebound batted around by Rivas, finally controlled by Brown. Burr the other way, change of pace, dribble, travel.
Returning for the Cowboys, number 24, O'Shea.
Tom, we've got a dogfight out here.
We have a good one going on. These teams are not letting up. You know, saw the extra step there by Burr. Dave Simmons was looking for something to ignite his team. Might be the floor they're playing on. This floor has a bit of history.
Only the second time this floor has ever been played on.
That's right. Graff misses underneath. Back the other way come the Cowboys. Ledoux with the floater. Won't go. Rebound underneath. Tough rebound taken down by Cole. Cole will change the pace up the floor. Lean in with the right hand. Wow, what a shot by Patrick Cole.
Nice acrobatic move.
Showing us the Graff isn't the only guy who's body controlled going down the lane. 2-point lead for the Eagles. Cowboys back the other way. Ledoux's three from the wing, airmailed everything. Here comes Cole again. Poche picks him up. He'll pull up from 18. Look out, Patrick Cole might be starting to feel it.
He's heating it.
6 points here in the second half. He's got 8 on the game and a 4-point lead for North Carolina Central.
Averages 21 on the season.
McNeese needs a basket here to stem the momentum that the Eagles have kind of gotten here. Burr with a pump fake, trying to shake Madison. Left it down low for Ugochukwu, too strong. Put back no good. Rebound Dickerson. 2 good looks by Ugochukwu, couldn't get it to finish. Here's Graff to the basket. DeJuan Graff now with 10. And the Eagles from North Carolina Central starting to come alive here.
They are.
And Dave Simmons going to call timeout.
I think that's a really good timeout.
I do too. You can sense the momentum shift going here. And we'll keep it right here. Nope. We're going to take the officials' timeout. 11:37 to go. 6-point lead for North Carolina Central equals their biggest of the afternoon here in Lake Charles. ages and all sizes supporting the McNeese Cowboys here at Burton Coliseum in Lake Charles this afternoon. Cowboys down 6 equals their biggest deficit of the game. They were down by 6 in the first half with about 4.5 to play before they came back and took a 1-point lead in the locker room. And right now, the momentum is shifted into the maroon and gray, Neil.
Yeah, McNeese really needs to answer on this possession.
This is Jacob Ledoux, 23, for Jemiah Burr. 7 to shoot. Burr, a long-range 3 is off the mark, no good. Long rebound, chase down, last touch by, they say, by Jacob Ledoux, and it belonged to North Carolina Central. Dave Simmons not exactly sure about the call or the play they ran coming out of the timeout. Thinking that they could have gotten a better shot than a long-range 3 from Jemiah Burr. Graff wide open on the give and go with Cole. Graff has a dozen to lead all scores.
8 unanswered points by North Carolina Central.
And an offensive foul. Jacob Ledoux picks up his first. Out of control, going to the basket before the dish off, and now it's an 8-point lead. And this is the kind of thing that has hurt McNeese all year long. At some point in time, they allow a big run by the opposition.
They do.
This might be the big run. See the official mopping the floor for us. This new floor, as Neil alluded to early on, traveling violation on Delvin Dickerson.
Well, we'll see how long Hugo Wuchu is on the bench, Tom.
But when McNeese got ready to start basketball practice in October, took the floor out here at the Burton Coliseum, and something happened to the humidifier in the storage room, and the floor was warped. So in an emergency short-term measure, they went to the Lake Charles Civic Center and borrowed a floor from there to put in here while they went out looking for a new floor. And they found this floor that had only been used one time, as Greenwood drives the basket and got fouled by Rashawn Madison. The only time this floor had been used in the game was earlier in the fall as the Oklahoma City Thunder played Barcelona of Spain in an exhibition game. They remarked it, put the logos in for McNeese, and the players love this floor since they got a chance to practice on it the other day. Cole's drive to the basket comes up short. The rebound comes down to Jacob Ledoux. And maybe the floor is making a difference for Dave Simmons' bunch. But they got to do something here in the second half. They're down 8. They can't let this game slip away from them and see the double figures creep up for North Carolina Central. 10 to shoot. Jacob Ledoux with the ball. Crossover move, the 3 is good. Big 3 for Jacob Ledoux, who's got 6 in the ball game.
Good looking stroke from Ledoux.
And believe it or not, that's his first collegiate three-pointer. He was 0 of 11 coming into the ball game. Cole, he can't answer with a 3, but Dickerson's got the putback blocked from behind. Might be on Hill, or is it on the floor?
I thought it was on Hill. Hill got him from behind. We'll see.
They call it on Poche, stepping in underneath. He was in the restricted area. You can see it clearly there. Poche gets his second. So Delvin Dickerson gets to shoot a pair here with 9:47 left. He is now 3 out of 3 for the stripe. Part of his 6 points.
It's his second personal foul, 13 foul.
Checking out is Lamarius Hill, and Steven Yukachuku will check back in.
One time, guys. One shot. Let's go, 5. One. Go. Go. One. Yes. One time.
Now Dickerson's finally got it.
Only one player at the line for North Carolina Central, but they did need it.
He's got 7.
Oh gosh, this communication issue. Trying to run a sideline break was McNeese. Kind of turned their back and threw it away.
Have to know where the ball is.
Yeah, that's
and your opponent.
That's something that just can't happen.
Another unforced error for the Cowboys, and that's been the one real problem in today's ball game. as that's approaching 20 turnovers now. Backdoor pass for Pablo Rivas with his first field goal. And the lead is out to 9. Jacob Ledoux attacks the basket, can't get it to go. Ugochukwu couldn't find the rebound. Here come the Eagles. Cole with the smart dish to Dickerson. Dickerson now with 7 points in the second half, 9 in the game, and the lead is in double figures at 11.
Yeah, Coach may think either a substitution or another timeout here before this one gets away.
9:05 to go here. Still time for the Cowboys, but they need to find their game again.
They need some stops.
Ugochukwu turning up and under, left it on the bottom of the basket. And we get a foul in the lane here.
Yeah, they're going to call that a reach foul.
Going to be on Dickerson. It'll be his third. 15 foul against North Carolina Central. There'll be a side out. Jemiah Bird back in, and Harvey will inbound to Ugochukwu. Now for Harvey, he can't shake Cole. You know, sometimes you forget about that inbounds man. If you pass it away for a minute and go back, he could be open, but Cole was having none of it. Underneath the basket, the dish out comes to Harvey for 3. It's short, rebound to Burr. Tries to go up strong, no good, but a foul. It's going to be on Graff, and if it's Graff, it's his 4th.
Yeah, the smallest man on the floor.
It is on Graff.
Comes up with the offensive rebound.
So Jemiah Burr with 10 points. 1 out of 2 from the stripe. We'll be back at it here with 8:33 left. Try and cut this back into single digits for the Cowboys, but he won't be able to do it as he misses that one. So Graff will sit down and Wiggins will come back in. Wiggins with a couple of points in the first half.
We'll see if McNeese comes back with the full court press. Just kind of look at something different here. Change pace.
1 out of 2 for Burr from the line. He now has 11. The lead is at 10. North Carolina Central has it, and they have the ball. Cole guarded by Poche. Got him in the air. Threw it up wildly, but he'll get a chance to shoot 2 as Poche will pick up his 3rd foul and the 4th team foul.
Smart play by Patrick Cole that time. Saw the defender leave his feet. We'll see it here. And pushes his body right into the defender. Doesn't get much better than that.
74% from the line is Patrick Cole. His first attempt of the ball game.
Averaging 21 on the season, but foul trouble stymied him in the first half and making a strong effort here in the second.
1 out of 2. The lead is 11, 60-49, 8:10 to go. Cowboys need to treasure each possession now. Nice dish out for Harvey's 3. It won't go. Dickerson had the position held off. Ugochukwu for the rebound for North Carolina Central. Cole with a spin in the lane. Oh, and a blocking foul. Poche will pick up his 4th. And the 15th foul against McNeese State. That brings us to an official's timeout. Poche trying to plead his case, but not going to change the call. Watch it here. Well, that was the earlier one from Cole, and an answer by Ledoux. But the McNeese Cowboys need more answers here with 7:55 left.
Education is important and means more than owning different stocks. Hi, I'm Mike Fulgens, president of Universal Coin and Bullion. I've been helping clients nationwide for 15 years diversify with gold. And I want to send you a free copy of our award-winning gold guide to help you choose the best gold options for you.
Get the answers you need about gold. Call us today at 866-UCB-GUIDE. That's 866-822-4843.
The Southland Conference.
4,200 student athletes from across the country
And around the world. Representing 13 member institutions.
from Arkansas, Texas, and Louisiana.
Excelling in 17 NCAA Division I sports.
In the classroom and in our communities.
We are Southland Strong.
Just as mighty oak trees grow strong in contrary winds, McNeese State University continues to thrive despite the current economic climate. For 5 consecutive years, McNeese has been named one of the best regional universities in the South by U.S. News and World Report. Best Value Schools also ranked McNeese one of the best schools in the state for affordability and return on investment for its graduates. See for yourself why a degree from McNeese just makes sense. Call or visit us online to schedule a campus tour.
Here's the last foul. Yep, and you can see Poche, I thought on the initial look, I thought he had established position, but he was sneaking up on Cole. So a good call by our officiating crew, sends Patrick Cole to free throw line for the second time. Cole now in double figures with 10. Shooting here in the second half, 10 of 23 for North Carolina Central for 44%. McNeese, after shooting 68 in the first half, 5 of 23, Neil, for 21%.
Yeah, they're going to have to go down low and establish something there, because then they can come back out and shoot that shot. But right now they're cold.
Right now, North Carolina Central is taking control of this game in the secondary column. Points in the paint, they lead 36-26. Points off turnovers, 15-6. Second chance points, 13-5. Fast break points, 12-8. Bench points, 17-14. Every secondary category, they lead.
The first half, McNeese with 18 points in the paint, North Carolina Central 20, so that's shifted
greatly here in the second half. Cole pulls up for a tough 15-footer, won't go. Rebound, tough rebound by Jaron Greenwood. Greenwood change of pace, goes with the right hand, won't go. Rebound batted around, be chased down by C.J. Wiggins. Loose in the corner is Madison for 3. It's short. And a foul underneath. If it's Poche, he's gone.
Personal foul, 16 foul.
5 fouls on Poche. 6 team fouls for them. It came against Poche here in the second half. And the senior out of St. Martinville, Louisiana, will sit down,
Tough
having
night.
not cracked the score sheet.
Correct. 5 fouls, no points.
So Caleb Ledoux will come in off the bench. Now the defensive assignment of Patrick Cole belongs to James Harvey. Wiggins just buying timeout high. Bird trying to force the action. Cole around the screen, backdoor leave, blocked from behind. Harvey with the block, and Ledoux with the travel before he got rid of the basketball. But what a block by Harvey. Watch this. Right there. No, you don't.
Not in my neighborhood.
But they couldn't cash in the block shot in transition. They give it up again. Another turnover. That's 19 in the ball game. 6:20 to go. The TO has been the bugaboo. And once again, Wiggins just killing clock time right now. When you lead by 13, the clock is your friend. Madison with the floater, too strong. Rebound. Dickerson could not control.
Yeah, Dickerson's open down low, but isolated on the low block. But as you mentioned, Tom, they're just running that 30-second clock.
They'll lob it back out to Wiggins. It starts all over again now here with 5:55 left and 27 to shoot.
It's about time management now for North Carolina Central.
And guarding too tight was Jaron Greenwood. Just leaning on him too much. So C.J. Wiggins, who missed a pair of free throws in the first half, returns to the line here in the second half. 5:47 left. A.J. Brown will check in. James Harvey comes out. Wiggins' his first one on the way, and we'll get this friendly roll this time. He's now 1 out of 3 from the stripe in the ball game. And the lead has been extended to 14. Make it 15 here. 64-49. Only 13 points in the second half for McNeese. Meanwhile, you got 29 on the board here for North Carolina Central. Another missed shot, another transition opportunity. Dickerson fumbled it, and Greenwood's got it back for the Cowboys. Greenwood will go all the way with the right hand. Good finish by Greenwood, who's got a dozen. That's what they need. They need to stop on one end and to score on the other end. Still have time to do it with 5:10, but you're going to need to force the issue with your defense, because otherwise North Carolina Central is going to take 25 seconds off the clock every time they have the ball.
Yep, extend the defense out, make them put it on the floor.
Here's Cole, guarded by Ledoux. We'll pull it back from 18.
That's
it's
not
offline.
the best shot.
Ugochukwu clears to Burr. Now can the Cowboys cash this one and done in? Brown inside deep. He's got it to go.
Back-to-back baskets for the Cowboys.
5 for Brown. The lead is down to 11. 4.5 to go here. Stop on defense, score on offense. Simple formula. But Lavelle Moten says, I'm going to take time out and just stress the issue to my kids here. Just because you're taking time off the clock doesn't mean you get lazy and lethargic. When it's time to go, everybody's got to go.
Right now, there's not a whole lot of ball movement by North Carolina Central.
4 minutes, 29 seconds to go here. Leading scorers in the ball game for North Carolina Central. 12 for DeJuan Graff, who's currently sitting on the bench with 4 fouls. 11 for Patrick Cole, 9 of those here in the second half. Delvin Dickerson's got 9, 6 of those here in the second half. Those are the leaders for North Carolina Central. For McNeese, 12 points for Jaron Greenwood, 11 points for Jemiah Burr. They're the only players in double figures. Labarius Hill has 8 to be the third rider in there.
Well, one difference I see here in the second half, North Carolina Central has shot 10 free throws. They're 9 of 10 from the line. McNeese only been at the line 4 times and have converted 50% of the time.
9 of 10 when the clock's not moving builds out your lead in a hurry, and especially when we alluded to those other secondary categories as being one of the key issues in the ball game right now. And the lead still belongs to North Carolina Central, and in the paint, turnovers and second chance and fast break and bench, all those secondary categories still belong to the Eagles.
Yeah, 20 turnovers for McNeese this afternoon,
compared to only 10 for North Carolina Central. The only blocked shots of the ball game belong to McNeese. However, Central, as part of that 20 turnovers, they've got 10 steals to account for half of those 20 turnovers.
But McNeese only shooting 25.9% here in the second half, and very detrimental to their opportunity to come back in this one.
They've done a good job defensively as they have held North Carolina Central just 38% from the floor. But as you mentioned, that 13 for 16 number from the free throw line is where the Eagles have really made their hay. So here we go in the backcourt. Burr guarding Graff. Graff back in the ball game now with his 4 fouls and 4:20 to go. Offensive foul on the Eagles. Dickerson. That'll be his 4th. Player control foul. There will be no free throws, but that's 7 now for each team here. So we got free throws every chance we get here. Watch Dick. Oh, he just ran right into Ledoux.
Coach is shaking his head. What are you doing?
Right in front of the bench.
Oh my gosh.
Jumper from the baseline is good by Greenwood, who's come up with a big ball game. 14 points now for Greenwood, and the lead is back down into single digits, now at 9. Offensive foul on Graff using the offhand. That'll be his 5th.
That's back-to-back offensive fouls.
DeJuan Graff is fouled out of the ball game here with 3:56 to go. We'll see how big a role that plays here as McNeese tries to come back from a 9-point deficit with 3:56 to play. Well, they didn't take the officials' timeout under 4 minutes like they were supposed to. And the foul is going to be on Patrick Cole. Be his third and the 9th team foul. Or check that, that was not Cole 10, or 11 rather. It was Wiggins 3. Picks up his third. And free throws now for Jaron Greenwood. Greenwood gets nothing but net on that first free throw. 15 points now for Greenwood as he's brought him back to within 8. Greenwood made his first 5, missed that one on his 6th. I didn't say it before he shot it. I tried not to use the announcer's curse. I was thinking it though, so maybe it got out there. 8-point game. Foul's going to be on Burr out high. So we get free throws now for C.J. Wiggins.
14 of 17 now for North Carolina Central from the line.
Wiggins, after missing 2 in the first half, 3 for 3 here in the second half.
That's pretty good, 82.4%.
You can win a lot of games when your team shoots 82%. And Wiggins now 4 for 4 after those first 2 misses. Lead back out to 10. 3:35 left here. Still time for McNeese, but they need to score every time they've got it. Burr with a tough drive and off the glass. Burr with 13. It's been Burr and Greenwood that have held the Cowboys close. Cole gets away from a double team. Gives it up to Wiggins.
Full court pressure, but Central able to handle it, back it out, and try to run that clock down.
The redshirt senior Cole against the true freshman Ledoux. Cole on the drive, and the floater is good. Cole now with 13. 10-point lead again, under 3 to go. Burr kicks it out on the wing. Ledoux for 3, rattles in and out, no good. Dickerson with a rebound. 2:50 to play now. Cole gets through the double team. Tried to draw the foul. You see him look over his shoulder trying to get Ledoux to run into him? That's the redshirt senior against the true freshman. But Ledoux didn't buy it. Cole attacks, floats in the lane. Offensive foul. Offensive foul on Cole.
That's the 3rd offensive foul in the last 2 minutes by North Carolina Central.
3rd foul against Cole. Brown checks out. Jacob Ledoux comes in. Again, we get the officials do the no ball boys tonight. What's up with that?
Double duty for the officials,
I
right?
guess it's Christmas break for the ball boys, I guess. The officials take up the towel and wipe up the perspiration on this shiny new floor. Only the 2nd game ever played on it. And the first collegiate game. The other one was an NBA game. We still got more we got to get to. Wonder if the officials get extra pay when they have to mop the floor.
Wouldn't count on it.
No? As long as it's our cameraman who's not having to do it.
Exactly.
That's all right. We need those guys. So here comes Burr up the near sideline. Caleb Ledoux with the fumble and the pickup. Back to Burr. Working on Madison. Floats it from 10. Won't go. Hung on the rim. Hugo Chukwu's follow is no good. And Dickerson, who got smacked in the face, gets the foul for his trouble. And that's his 5th. Watch the rebound here. Oh. He got hit twice.
North Carolina Central.
And Stephen Hugo Chukwu will go to the free throw line, but he took a couple of shots to the top of the noggin. You can see him holding his head here. What a way to leave the game. You leave the game with an elbow on your head. nor to return this afternoon. He'll go to the end of the bench with the trainer, and they'll take a look at him. So Ugochukwu with 6 points in the ball game. First one, oh, friendly roll. Back iron, top of the backboard, and then down.
13 of 20 now for the game for McNeese.
65% is right about at their season average.
They need every one this afternoon.
But important here to score without the clock moving.
Full court pressure likely to come.
Ugochukwu makes them both. It's an 8-point game and a blocking foul.
He leaned in.
The Ladus tried to get the double team of the foul, but Caleb getting too tight. You see Dickerson here with a grimace on his face after getting that elbow on the top of the head.
James Harvey returns for McNeese.
So James Harvey will check back in, and Jacob Badu will check out. Patrick Cole, meanwhile, goes back to the free throw line.
Cole 3 of 4, 75% on the afternoon.
That's right at his average. He now has 14. You know, earlier this season against Jackson State, he had the first triple-double since this team has been elevated to D1 status. 14, 12, and 11 against Jackson State. He makes both free throws there, has 15. 10-point game again. Burr in the lane, rolled off the edge, no good. Rebound loose on the floor, picked up by Wiggins. Wiggins pressured on the sideline, got it ahead for Cole, ran into Ledoux, ball came loose, picked up by Ugochukwu, and the three by Ledoux is good.
Nice stroke.
Caleb Ledoux has 8. It's a 7-point game. We get an officials timeout here. See the North Carolina Central bench poaching something. Both teams going to go to there. We're going to have something to wipe up off the floor again.
Oh, yeah.
There you see the steal. Ugochukwu ahead, and Ledoux for the finish. So that young freshman has 8. Dave Simmons says there's nothing wrong with this kid offensively. He knows what to do with the ball. Where he needs to learn the game, making the jump from high school to college, is how to play defense. And you see that many times with kids who are so talented and they're the main guy on their high school team, and they usually aren't called upon to play a lot of defense.
Right.
But when you get elevated to this level, they're all the best players from their respective high school teams. So everybody goes even, so now you have to learn how to play defense. So Dave Simmons now in his 11th season here with McNeese.
Especially moving your feet. That's one of the toughest things they have to do in the transition from high school to college.
Not reach out.
Exactly. You know, a lot of them are blessed with long arms, able to get in the passing lane, but to get down low and actually move the feet, man, that takes
play body to body difference.
Exactly.
You know, as much time as guys spend working on their shot, you know, making that transition into the college game, they've got to just work on those simple drills, get one of their teammates out there and shadow them up and down the floor several times to get used to what it takes to get it done. 7-point game, 1:51 to go. I think we have the floor taken care of right now. Like I said, we got this brand new floor. We can't do anything to mess this thing up. We got to keep it looking good.
These officials are doing their part to keep it clean.
Yes, they are. So inbounds for North Carolina Central. Cole in the backcourt against Ledoux, 11 against 11. Dishes it off now for Traps. Now gets it back.
Trying to milk the clock.
Good position defense that
Good
time
call.
by Ledoux. Forced the traveling violation.
Yeah, the double team caused the double dribble.
But it all started with the fact that Ledoux stayed in front and made him try to reverse and got him back into the double team.
Correct.
So maybe he was listening to you, Neil. If so, he'd be the first one. Oh, Burr blocked underneath. And away comes North Carolina Central. We're down to 80 seconds left. Cole double teams out high. We get a timeout, I think, from the bench.
Timeout.
Yeah. Lavelle Moten said, I'm not seeing my guy trapped again and cough it up. I'm calling timeout and rescuing him. Coach to the rescue here with 1:15 to go and a 7-point lead for North Carolina Central. Try and end up a 3-game road trip on a winning note. Meanwhile, McNeese looking to get their first win this season over a D1 opponent. Their victories earlier this year have come over New Orleans and once again, our thanks go out to Mike Fulgens and the folks at Universal Coin and Bullion for their sponsorship of today's ball game. They beat Southland of New Orleans 96-73. They also beat LSU Alexandria, but neither of those teams on the D1 level. So McNeese looking for that first D1 victory. Looked good in the first half, but then that cold shooting in the second half really hurt them, Neil.
McNeese set to start conference play December 31st at Northwestern State. In North Carolina Central, January 7th, Maryland Eastern Shore.
Almost a fumble by Traps. They try to get to him, give it out to Wiggins. Shot clock is down to 7. Cole tried to draw contact and did. Just a savvy move dribbling the basketball, picked up the foul on Caleb Ledoux. It'll be his third.
You know, McNeese really could have folded up the 10 and gone home, Tom. They're really working hard defensively and fighting here to the end. They were down 12 points and could have really gone the other way and really worked hard here.
Cole with 2 more from the stripe.
1 minute remaining in the ball game. 1 minute.
Ledoux will fire a 3. That's another one for Caleb Ledoux. Double figures with 11.
Oh, he's going to be a special player in the future. Only a freshman.
Athletic, can shoot it. So we've seen the last couple of trips down the floor.
We're talking.
That's NBA distance there.
Yes, it is. We're talking 2-possession game, Tom.
72-66. Little defense, forcing a turnover.
The problem is, if you don't get a steal, you're going to have to foul to gain possession because time is not on their side.
Timeout. Traps knew he was trapped. T-R-A-P-P-S knew he was T-R-A-P-P-E-D. Called the timeout to save himself in the backcourt with 49.9 to go. Watch it again here. There's 1 Burr on him, and now 2 come over to converge, and he called timeout before the ball got poked out of his hands.
Hey, heads up play. High basketball IQ.
Ron Traps, another one of that senior class here for Lavelle Moton. And, you know, looking at their record and the teams they have played either hard, like Ohio State and LSU and Coastal Carolina, playing, you know, those teams very solid, a win over Missouri. Hard to believe that they're only picked 4th in the MEAC conference. Makes you wonder what the other teams above them are all about.
Got Delaware State, Norfolk State, Hampton, Howard, North Carolina A&T, not AT&T.
Not AT&T.
They're always solid.
Fans staying here to the end, trying to root these Cowboys onto that first victory. You know, they lost at Marshall to start and at Ohio State, and then reeled off 5 wins in a row over Western Carolina, Jackson State, Northern Kentucky, Missouri, and Southern Wesleyan. And lost at East Carolina, beat LIU Brooklyn. And then those tough losses on the first 2 games of this road trip by 3 points and 4 points respectively. Watch the 5 count. They lob it in for Cole. Cole across the line, finger roll, yes. 19 now for Cole, almost at his average. 44 seconds to go. Ledoux gave it to Burr. He'll launch the 3. Back iron, no good. Rebound Wiggins. Down to 35 seconds to go. Wiggins gets it into front court. Now they can play the clock game. Wiggins through traffic. Got it away to Madison. And all the way back out to Cole. 10 seconds to shoot. Cole will pull up at the free throw line. Won't get the roll this time. Hugo Chukwu with a rebound. Quick outlet for Harvey. 10 seconds to go. Deep 3, Harvey. No good. Rebound to Cole, and that should do it. 2 seconds. 1, And there is your buzzer. Our final score today, North Carolina Central 74 and McNeese 66. We'll come back and wrap things up here from Burton Coliseum after this timeout. And we bring it back to Burton Coliseum in Lake Charles, Louisiana, where North Carolina Central has picked up their 7th win of the season against 5 losses with a 74-66 victory over the McNeese Cowboys, who fall to 2-7 now on the year. Tom Franklin, Neil Raphael here. And Neil, really the story of two halves when it comes to shooting the basketball for McNeese. They had an outstanding first half and a frigid second half.
They really did. Only 28% in the second half and around 60% in the first half. So it really was an issue. Also the turnovers, 20 turnovers for the game for McNeese was a big reason that they came up a little short tonight.
Now, they did hold North Carolina Central to 39% shooting in the ball game, but what they didn't do was stop them at the free throw line, where they were 19 of 22.
Yeah, exceptional. So every opportunity they had, they took advantage of, and that really was the difference in the second half.
And you can see the difference in the experience level we talked about at the top. The veteran team, North Carolina Central, even though things got away from them a little bit at the end of the first half, not at all bothered by it, played very poised in the second 20 minutes. And after a good first half, things got away from McNeese a little bit from about the 15-minute mark of the second half, and that's where North Carolina Central was able to open up as big as a 15-point lead. And it's that one little section of the ball game that the young, inexperienced McNeese Cowboys have to work on.
They did. They pulled it up to 15, and then they got it down to 6 with under a minute left. But you're right, the experience played out today.
We'll come back and have one final word. Oh, we're done? Oh, okay, thank you. Well, there we are. We're done. I thought you said let's break. If you break means we have a commercial. All right, we're going to go home now. All right, well, thank you. For everybody here, for Mike Fulgens, our sponsor from Universal Coin and Bullion, for Neil Raphael, for our staff, and for our sometimes on-the-mark director, Matt, what's his name? Matt Romo? No, Matt somebody or other, and our entire crew, Tom Franklin saying so long and happy holidays, everybody, from Lake Charles.
And means more than owning different stocks. Hi, I'm Mike Fulgens, president of Universal Coin and Bullion. I've been helping clients nationwide for 15 years diversify with gold. And I want to send you a free copy of our award-winning gold guide to help you choose the best gold options for you.
Get the answers you need about gold. Call us today at 866-UCB-GUIDE. That's 866-822-4843.